Hi, this topic is about the Spring, and we want to talk about the resource interface. Resource interface in Spring. Okay. So before that, let's open Eclipse. I've already opened it. Here is my Eclipse. Yeah, once it's launching, you're seeing a different perspective. You can change it to Java by clicking here. If it is enterprise, if it is a desktop, you can click on Java. I'll use I'll select Java here. Yeah, I'm here. So let me create a project. New. I'm gonna create a Maven project. Okay, VM Maven project. Next. Create a simple project. Skip. I'm not going to skip archetype selection. I'm going to select it. Yeah, we got the different archetypes, different kinds of projects. I'm going to select the default one, quick start. It's asking for the package. I've already given it. The name of the project, I will say Spring Maven. The topic is resource. It's about the core, right? I'll say core. This is my name of the project. I will say finish. Once it's done, you can see I got my folder out here. Okay, this is my project. Spring Maven core. You can see the structure source main Java, source test in Java. So the important file of the Spring is Spring configuration. Let's create that one. And we always need to create the configuration files in the class path. So right click on it, say new source folder, and I'm going to browse it. Source main. In the main, I'm going to create my resources file. Resources. I will say finish, and right click on it. Say new other. I'll select Spring Bean configuration. Name it. Context. Will say finish. You can see the configuration file getting created. Yes, it's created. So I'm going to create my bean classes. Go to source main. This is my package. Let me create my bean Pojo class. I will say the person. Okay, the person. I don't want main here. Next. So once it is done, I will declare a few variables. I'll say private. All instant variables should be private. I will say integer. PID. I will say PID private. Double salary. I'll say PID private. Uh, String name. I will create a get and setters for this. Right click on it. Create source. Get and setters is going to create. I'm going to select all the fields. Say generate. Okay, I'll move this one to the top. I'll format it. Good. I'm going to create a display class, display method, public void display method. I'll say sort of say want return name, payroll ID, simply copy it, and here I'm going to say name, and here I'm going to say salary. Okay, so I'm going to return all these things, saved it. Let me create beans, configure these beans. I'll go to source, now I'll go to beans. I will say right click on it. I'll say new bean. You can give name or ID, anything is fine. The first of all, it's going to search with ID. If not, it's given. It's going to search for the name. Um, Even if you're not provided both the values, both ID and name, it's going to take a default value. It's going to assign by itself. So I'm going to select name of the bean as person, and control space. Okay. First of all, then it write the name of the class and control space and enter. Yeah, it has automatically taken it. And next, I'm going to add my variables. First, I'm going to select name and its value. Okay, then add again, control space. I'm going to select payroll ID, control space, and I'm going to use some value 10 to it. Okay, again add and control space, and the last one is salary. I'm going to give it as 10,000. Okay, okay, and say finish. Now go to source file. You can see the bean is created unique ID with a unique ID person. Its class name is this. This complete the class path, and the properties. The properties is nothing but the instant variables. They're also called as fields. So instead of properties, we can also give constructor args. But now we are going with the setters and getters. So I've selected fields as properties. Now as we are done, let's go to the app, remove unwanted things. So let me create a container new. Let's double. Also control space. It's not showing anything. Why? I don't know what's the problem. Okay, what if it doesn't show any default proposals when you control space? Then you need to go to Windows Preferences, search with the name, Advances. You can see Advanced. Click on it, select all the things, click Apply and Close. Okay, Java type proposals, non-type proposals. You need to click on it, and this Apply. Now let's check for proposals. You can also restart. I've already restarted. Default. Let's double. Let's double bean. Yeah. So the important thing here is we not added jazz. Um, yeah. The reason why it's not showing any proposals is because we don't have Spring jars in our project. So this is our project. Okay. So this is our project and we don't have Spring jars. That's the important thing. And the other important thing that we need to look at is the GRE. You can see by default, Maven is going to take 1.5 version. So let's add the plugins and dependencies. Okay, we have a default already added GUnit. Let's select the Spring Maven dependencies. Spring Maven dependency. We're going to select the file. You can simply click on it. It's going to copy to clipboard. I'm going to paste here, format it, and to change GRE, I'm going to select Java class compile now plugin. Select here. I'm going to go with the first option. Not sure why it is taking a long time. Let me go with the second one. I got some problem opening Maven. I'm going to go with this. Yeah, simply copy this, the properties. I'm going to paste it. I already have this tags. So I'm going to say Control A, Control F. Let me Control A, Control F, format it. So if you go to Maven dependency, no, still I don't see my jar files. What I need going to do is right click on it, right click on my project. I'm going to select Maven, update project. I'm going to select all. This is not the one, it's not required. I'm going to select update my project. You can see the background, it's updating the project, building workspace and everything. You can see it's downloading all the strings, context and all the stuff. Let's wait for some time till it downloads all the things. Here we're going with the Spring 5.x version. It's downloading. I think it's completed. Look, let's go to Maven dependencies. Oh, we got all the dependent jars. We have selected Spring context and its related other jar files like AOP, beans, code, GCL for the logging to display a few messages, expression, and all those stuff. Okay, this Spring expression. Now, as we have downloaded all the Maven dependencies and plugin, let me refresh. Okay, go to my app and I'm going to select new. Let me create a container. Okay, default listable control space. Default listable bean factory. Right. Control 1. Assign new. I'm going to say, and I'm going to create XML XML bean definition reader. Okay, I'm going to select XML bean, control space, here bean definition reader. I'm going to select go with the first one. Here I'm going to have the container, control 1, and I'm going to name the difference variable as thing. Now I'm going to load the bean definitions. Till now we have been using loading the bean definitions, giving the path of the loading the bean definitions by using the string location. Okay. Now we are going to select resource. So today's topic is about the resource, load bean definition resource. We have two things. One is resource, other one is resources. Okay, first of all, let's try with the string location. And where is my application context? It's in the class path. Okay, I'm going to write here dot xml. Okay, and once you do it, what you are doing is creating an we're calling the bean. So here when we call the bean object is it creates the object get bean of string name abstract. I'm going to say string name. Okay, object, and you need to give name of the bean. Our name of the bean is person. You can go to application context and see the name. You can also give p. So I'm going to say p here. So I'm going to say control 1 assign statement to new. It's saying object superclass. No, I don't want to go with it. Say person, and I'm going to type cast. It's showing error. Add cast. Now I'm going to call my method using person dot display. Now when you run it, you can see the values. Here we're creating the container. We are loading the container and loading the beans using this XML. So when we call get container, get bean, it's going to create the object, and with that object created, a reference variable. With the reference variable, we're calling the method. So here, the get bean is calling the creating the objects. Okay, so our topic, what I've said is, let me comment all these things. Okay, let's go over the other load bean definition. I'm going to say reader dot load bean definitions. So I'm going to select a resource. In the resource. So what can be this resource? So resource. Let's go to the API. So let's go to API. I'll search it directly. I'll search with the name string resource interface. the first one. Okay. We can see resource is an interface. These are the super interfaces. Not interested about this. All other known sub interfaces. No, I'm not interested. I want the implementing. Yes, all known implementing classes of this interface. I'm not going to make use of this abstract. No, I don't want to go with these things. No, 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 no. Yeah, I'm going to go with the class path resource and file system resource. Class path and file system resource and interface, and I have selected class path resource and let's go with this file system resource. So these are the two implementing classes. I'm going to use both these things. So before using this resource, so if the XML bean definition is present in the class path, it's not present in the class path, and you want to assign it to it, then you need to go for it. If the XML bean definition configuration file is present in somewhere in the system, somewhere in the D drive, E drive, somewhere in our system, then we need to use file system resource. Okay. First, let's try with the class path resource. Okay. Class path resource, it's asking the string, and we need to give the name of the configuration file .xml. So we have already kept in the class path. So this class path resource is not required. Let's say that we are not kept our application context Spring configuration file in the class path. We are not kept there. In that case, we need to make use of the class path resource. Okay. So let's say that our class path is not present in the class path. Okay. Then I'm going to use class path resource. So control one, assign. I'm going to say resource, and that resource I'm using it here. Okay. So now I'm going to call my bean on all the stuff. The remaining thing is same. I'm going to typecast. So from here, the remaining things are same. So even this thing is going to work. Let's right click on it, run as Java application. Okay. Well, we got the values. So if our class path, if our application context is not present in the class path, then we need to make use of this class path class. Okay. As we have already kept our application context in the class path, so this thing is not required. Directly we can call the load bin definitions and give the name of the application. Okay, so we can also write this class path class as this. Instead of assigning it to the resource variable, we can directly give it as this. Even this thing is fine. This thing is going to work. We're going to say run as Java application. Okay. Wow, even this thing is working fine. Good. So we have tried with the class path resource. Okay. Let's move this and paste it here. Placed it here outside the class path. Let me take this, remove this. Okay, now let's run because our application context is present at the our the project level. So let's try this. Run as Java application. Okay. Uh, Load pin definition. XML load definition from class path resource. Loading pin definitions from class path resource. There is some problem. Exception in the main thread. Let's go right. Passing XML document from the class path resource. Nested exception is find not found. Class path resource application cannot be opened because it does not exist. So that's the thing they're getting. I'm going to copy it back to the. I can also paste it here. I placed it my in Java. Usually I need to place all my the programs here, all my classes here. Remove this one. Let's try it again. Try it again. Run as Java application. View. This thing is working fine. This one is not present in the class, but it's present inside the main Java. Okay, let's try the other class. What is the other class? So this other class, file system resource. Let's copy this, paste it in some other location. Copy this and I pasted it here. Desktop, the properties. I'll go to security. This is the complete path. Copy it. I'm going to go to Eclipse. Now I'm going to make use of the file system resource. Now I need to give the complete path. So this is the path. You can see it's present in the application context and the C desktop and all those things. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to place it in here. Remove it from here. Okay. So now my class path is present in the desktop. So I've given the full path. So let me try this. Run as Java application. Okay. Wow, this thing is working fine. Now let's say that I want to know what exactly happening in the background. We don't have loggers. We don't have nothing is being logged. So here we need to make use of the log4j to see what exactly is happening in the background. To use that, let's use logger. Comment this and use this one. So this is about the ready.load definition resource. Okay, so discuss there are two types of resources. Resources and interface, and its implementation classes are class path registers and files and registers, and we also have few other things. We're not going to discuss them now. So that's it for today.